if you don't have it memorized already, you absolutely should memorize the quadratic formula. I know maybe about 60% of American students probably don't have this memorized right now in high school. But x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the way I kind of announce that, almost like a little bit of a song, certain things are easy to remember visually. Like to me, sine a over a, sine b over b, that's kind of something that I see in my mind. But certain things are better in an auditory sense. Like a lot of schools around the world that teach this, they teach a song that you just kind of hear in your ear, and then you hear it in the sort of the inner monologue in your head. So you got to have that memorized. So, okay, so you have BC factoring. If I had numbers in this spot and this spot, but not in the purple spot, then the way to solve would be asking myself, well, what two numbers add to 7 and multiply to 9? That's BC factoring. If I have a number in the purple spot as well, then I'm asking, okay, what two numbers add to B, 7, and multiply to AC? And that leads me down the ABC factoring method. If you're hearing this, you want more explanation on that, let us know in the comments. We'll be more than happy to do a lesson just on that method. But if something doesn't factor, then that's when the quadratic formula, if a quadratic doesn't factor, the quadratic formula is one of the next things that you try, and next thing in your bag of tricks. So you find out what A, B, and C are, and you go ahead and just plug them in. So here with these numbers, it'd be negative 7 plus or minus square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times 9 all over 2 times 2. The hardest thing in the calculation part of this is that you need a single sign right here. And I was just doing this earlier just with my own daughter, explaining that you need these three things to just be right there. So you can get a single sign for that and calculate. Notice that here, the thing that we're subtracting would actually be bigger than the 49. So you have a negative under a radical. And that takes us into our next subject, which is to say, simply based on the b squared minus 4ac part of the quadratic, which we refer to as the discriminant, you're going to know how many solutions. So in the example that I just invented off the top of my head, there would actually be no solutions to this because you can't have a negative under a radical, right? So just inventing fake numbers here based on different values under the radical, I'll just say the quadratic formula would end up looking like 2 plus or minus square root of 4 over 3, 2 plus or minus square root of 0 over 3, 2 plus or minus square root of negative 4 over 3. So all I'm doing is I'm varying this number. Everything else is staying the same. And here you would have 2 plus 2 over 3, 2 minus 2 over 3, 2 answers. Here you'd have 2 plus or minus nothing over 3. It's just 2 over 3. It's one answer. And here you'd have a negative under a radical. That's not allowed in the world of math. So we have no answers, no solutions, as is more popularly called there.